they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the pilgrims were good to Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mulford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Hey, family. Good morning to you. Welcome, 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 welcome. Another edition of the Black Love Experience. Do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Do all that stuff. If you're trying to listen to the jazz that's on right now, go to TuneIn Radio, iHeart, or WTCCFM.org. You already know what to do and how to do it. Good morning to everybody. Finna get everybody live on here. Get my Instagrammers live. All right. Good morning to the gram. Let me see. Look like the gram look like that's messing up already, but we'll see what happens. Let me get my there we go. Getting my Twitter spacers in. Got a little bit of Coltrane playing. Y'all know how we do. Like, share, subscribe. Tell somebody Bishop is on the air right now. Y'all see the subject matter up in there. Y'all see it. Let me get this shared where I need to share it. All right. Good morning. Rep your city, rep your town. I think we're going to have the same problem with the gram that we had on Monday. Which I don't like. But what you going to do? All right, Otis Redding popping now, y'all. Oh, she may be weary. Them young girls, they do get weary. Wearing that same old shaggy dress. Try a little tenderness. Anticipating. Try a little tenderness. What y'all know about that? It's not just sentimental, no.
She has her griefs and cares. But with the soft words, they are spoke so gentle, it makes it easier. You won't regret it, no. Try a little tenderness. Squeeze her, don't tease her, never leave her. Try a little tenderness. All right, let's go, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Tell somebody we're on the air right now. Let's get it. Come on now. Talk to me.
Talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, Daddy. A positive attitude says everything about you. Attitude is a little.
All right, let's go.
Difference. Every day you get up, you've been given a gift. That's why they call it the present. And it's up to you of how you unwrap it. So yesterday is history.
I see you, Brian.
Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is a gift. So don't let the pain of your past bleed.
I think I'm gonna switch out
poison your future. Stop replaying the
because
this happened to me. When it's done with you,
I think I'm gonna switch out.
With it. If it seems like you keep running into pigeons, it's an indication that you're flying too low. So set your sights a little higher. Remember,
I think I'm gonna switch out.
If you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. Allow your challenges to be a stepping stone to propel you into new possibilities.
I think I'm gonna switch out
with your past accomplishment. You're only as great as
my devices because
so maintain your hunger and your passion. Remember this: within every seed there is a tree, and every tree there is.
I'm having a problem
Who and what you were born into is simply the environment
with the Wi-Fi connection on my Instagram. So what we's gonna do is we gonna do it differently. Peace. Now let's see if we can get that 150 people who was on the gram back.
Successful people will do the things they hate to get the things they love. Much of life is about sacrifice. You got to give up something to get something. Success is not about what you've accomplished, but it's what you have overcome. For it's the test that you pass in life which qualifies you for the next level. You have to be willing to face your challenges and overcome them.
Should I get my grammars back?
12,000 miles a year, moving forward.
Come on back in, Graham.
When they move backwards, you gotta stay focused.
Come on back in.
Behind you. It's your daily routine that determines your success.
Come on back to me, grammars.
That is what you become. become great at.
I had to jump off real quick.
Being intelligent is having the right attitude. Respect costs you nothing, but it will cost you everything not to have it. So don't be too
Had to
smart
switch
for your
devices
good.
because
A hard head makes you soft behind.
it was
What's
tripping.
more important than your five senses is common sense. The heart of a fool is in his mouth, but the heart of a wise man is in his character. So don't sweat the small things. The answer for a short temper is a long walk. Be slow to speak, quick to listen, and remember this: you haven't lived long enough to know everything. Your character is what matters most. Once you have been labeled with a bad reputation, it's hard for people to see you any other way. A good name is worth more than all the money in the world. Your life is broken up into three.
All right, y'all coming back in. Appreciate you. 90.7 WTCC. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Black Love Experience. I'm your host, Bishop Talbert Swan II. I want to thank Deacon Ernie Johnson for bringing us up into the 9 o'clock hour with Friday morning inspiration. You can hear Deacon Johnson every Friday morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., bringing you the best in gospel music. Good way to start out your Monday morning. Great way to start out your Friday morning. See, I'm in Monday. Start out your Friday morning. Way to come into the weekend with that good inspirational gospel music. Well, it's been a heck of a week. Crazy things happening. It's a crazy world we live in. We live in bizarro world. Stuff that you would never think would happen every day now. The Klan administration that America put in the White House has decided to drop all agreements that the Department of Justice entered into with police departments across the nation for violating the civil rights, particularly of Black people. So all of the agreements that they made, but they particularly singled out the agreements with the Minneapolis Police Department and the Louisville Police Department. They said, we're no longer going to enforce those accountability measures that were put in place for police in Louisville that resulted in the murder of Breonna Taylor, or police in Minneapolis that resulted in the murder of George Floyd. And they were strategic in the timing of it. It's not a coincidence that it happened during this time, because Sunday is the 5th anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. George Floyd, who was murdered during Trump's first term, which sparked worldwide protests, commitments from corporations all over the nation, like Target, to invest in the Black community and to try to help pass legislation and do what was necessary to stop police brutality, and the prosecution of police departments across the nation that were violating the rights of Black people. They did it on purpose. This is their commemoration of the George Floyd murder, to renege on the agreement with the Minneapolis Police Department. The next announcement is going to be Trump announcing he's pardoning Derek Chauvin, the cop who murdered George Floyd, of the federal charges. He'll still be in jail because of the state charges, but he'll pardon him of the federal charges. And I anticipate that that's going to happen any day now. He may wait until Sunday, until the anniversary of George Floyd's murder, to do it for the symbolism of it. And what he has said in no uncertain terms is we're giving police across the nation green light to brutalize black bodies and to murder black people, and there will be no federal accountability for it. That's what Trump always wanted to do when he talked about giving the police immunity, that, you know, that they can't be prosecuted for what they do. He can't stop the prosecution at the state level, but he can make sure there's no federal accountability, because oftentimes at the state level, the state fails to hold police accountable. And then the backup is the federal. And so in many cases, like right here where I'm broadcasting from in Springfield, Massachusetts, the state didn't hold the Springfield Police Department accountable. It was the federal government, the Department of Justice, that held them accountable. It was the federal government that held Minneapolis police accountable. It was the federal government that held Louisville police accountable. And now Trump is saying, we're not doing that no more. We letting police do whatever they want to do to black people, and there will be no accountability. Where are the black people who voted for Trump? What y'all got to say to this? What's y'all excuse for this? Because y'all always got some excuse, you know, that you pushing in terms of justifying your support for this racist, this unrepentant racist. What you got to say now? Huh? What's your excuse now? I'm interested in knowing. Call me, please. 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781. Tell a friend, tell somebody. We're on the air right now. We're going to talk about it. We're going to deal with it. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you are chiming in from. Good morning to my daughter, Whit. I see you, baby girl. I see Tampa Bay in the building, Chicago in the building. I see Houston in the building. Boston's in the building. The 413 is in the building. Come on, rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. We'll be right back. We're going to deal with this open season, killing season on black people across the nation. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You say you sold out because black women are loud and crass. What? And your precious white woman is the epitome of class? Are you so blind that you cannot see? That pale girl child ain't got nothing on me. For hundreds of years we have stood by your side, accepted your flaws and allowed you your pride, bore your children and cleaned up your mess, satisfied your lust and always settled for less. We have stayed in the background and allowed you to lead, trusting in your strength and ability to succeed, never getting the praise and credit we deserve, but having the courage, the will, and the nerve, for being the backbone that has kept it together for you and our children in all kinds of weather. And now suddenly you say we're not good enough for you. We forced you to sell out because of the things we do. Well, where was that white woman when that white man you hate was cracking the whip? In the boardroom, the warehouse, and on the slave ship. She stood by his side and didn't say a word, waiting for her own chance to rule and be heard. And now it's her you turn to and treat like a queen? And me and my sisters you choose to demean? Well, hold up, wait a minute, and stop the damn bus. Because there are a few things I need to remind you about us.
About us.
A more beautiful creature
God never made
than an African woman.
All right, come on, y'all.
high yellow, red bone, or cocoa brown, we are more than worthy of wearing a crown. Ebony, mocha, or black as the night. It is we who have always shared in your plight. We are passionate, spiritual, loving, and kind. A more generous heart you'll never find than the one that beats inside the body of a Nubian queen, the hardest working, loving, giving woman you've ever seen.
Ever seen.
Give and forgive until there's little left. Then we're forced to put up our guard to avoid your theft. The theft of our hearts and our trust, the very nature of our soul, by our so-called brothers who are just
Playing a role.
And you wonder why some of us act as we do? Take a look in the mirror, because the answer is you. It's not enough that the white man has always tried to keep us down, but our own men act as though they'd love to see us drown. And white women have never invited us to join their equal rights struggle. So we're out here alone with a million things we juggle, raising the children that black men leave behind, and dealing with the racism of the daily corporate grind. Damn, it's no wonder some of us are loud. Hell, we're just trying to be heard. In a world where everyone, including our men, ignore our every word. Where are the brothers who understand a black woman's worth? Right here, who will protect and stand by us, for we are the salt of this earth. We birthed you, raised you, and showered you with love. It was we who taught you to love your creator above. We gave you all we had and taught you to be men. Open your eyes, it is us, your black sisters, not Bo Derek's kind who rate a perfect 10. And one final word for the sellout who claim to be brothers. When you turn your back on us,
You disrespect your mothers. Did y'all hear that? This is a response to the sellout. Y'all know who you are. 413-736-2781 is the number here if you want to chime in on the program. And let me know where you're chiming in from. I see y'all coming in from various places across the country. I see you, Brother Davis, chiming in from St. Louis, Missouri. How do y'all pronounce it out there? You know, we say Missouri, but I know a lot of people out there call it Missouri. So anyway, Baltimore is in the building. Hold on, somebody wants me to put the phone number up. Let me get the phone number up. 413-736-2781. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. 413-736-2781 is the number here for those who want to call in to the program. Definitely, love to hear from you on today's subject matter. We've got a problem with police accountability all over the nation. Definitely had a problem with it here, have a problem with it here. We've been under a consent decree brought about by an investigation, ironically, by Trump's DOJ during his first term. Now Trump is saying, you know what? He's ordering the DOJ, let's get rid of all agreements, particularly those that were entered into by the Biden administration. We're going to get rid of all of them. Because see, what happened was the George Floyd incident happened while Trump was president. The agreement happened once Biden took over. And he's like, yeah, it's just the same stuff he did during his first term. Basically, he said, I'm going to undo everything that Obama did. And in much the same way, that's his mentality. Um, Now is I'm going to undo everything that Biden did. He's such a petulant child. Um, um, and so, we've warned about this for years, that this is what they've wanted to do, but they now have someone in the White House who's bold enough to act on his racism and do it and not care about it, because half the nation decided we're going to vote for this guy because of his racism. Mississippi is in the house. Y'all still repping your city, repping your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Ohio is in the building. Good morning, Ohio. In the Twitter space, y'all rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you guys are. ATL, I see you. ATL, one of my faithful followers. Good morning to you. Is in the building. Los Angeles is in the building. Cincinnati is in the building. Raleigh is in the building. Charlotte is in the building. Milwaukee is in the building. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Chicago is in the building. Yeah, we know Whitney. We know you in Chicago. Chicago is in the building. Good morning to every one of you. So, it's not surprising that this administration has taken this wicked step toward reestablishing basically a regime of unchecked state-sanctioned violence against Black bodies. Winston-Salem, North Kakalaki is up in the building. So the DOJ announced that it is rescinding consent decrees, particularly in Minneapolis and Louisville. Those agreements were designed to reform the policing practices that resulted in the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And with this action, Trump is not just erasing hard-fought civil rights gains, but he's actively giving police across the nation a message that they have the green light. I see you, Los Angeles. They have the green light to brutalize Black people without the fear of any federal oversight or consequences. Because these consent decrees, we are currently under one here in Springfield. They weren't just symbolic gestures. They were the result of painstaking investigations that were conducted, which revealed some serious patterns of police abuse. Those of you who will remember, after the George Floyd murder and the DOJ investigation began, they came out with a report in 2023, and the DOJ report found a systemic pattern of excessive force and racial discrimination against Black citizens and against individuals with mental health disabilities. This was Minneapolis. Louisville's report was equally damning. And that report said that there were patterns of unconstitutional stops, unlawful search and seizures, egregious use of excessive force, that all disproportionately targeted Black people. And the findings weren't anecdotal. They were supported by data. They were supported by testimonies of years of brutality. They were supported by documentation. But none of that matters to Trump or anyone who serves his agenda. And here's the irony of the situation. In the same couple of days, I see you, Arizona. Good morning, the Bishop Designate Earl Newton. Frat. Good morning, Oregon. Listen, I even got Oregon up in the building. In the same few days that they are having conversations about the fictitious genocide of white farmers in South Africa, which doesn't exist, justifying giving protected status to white South Africans who migrate to America. They rescind consent decrees with police departments for unconstitutionally brutalizing and murdering Black people. Think about that for a minute. We're opening the door and letting white South Africans come in here with protected status under the lie that white farmers are being killed, but under the truth that Black people are disproportionately being killed, we're dropping these consent decrees. How much more blatantly racist can you get? And then they had the nerve to frame these consent decrees not in the context of what they are, because what they are safeguards for civil rights. But they frame them as bureaucratic overreach with an anti-police agenda. So if you hold police accountable, it's because you have an anti-police agenda. Not that you're protecting the civil rights of the citizens that the police are abusing and murdering. If you want to hold police accountable, it's because you're anti-police. It's the same tired white supremacist talking points that they use basically to paint accountability of police as an existential threat to law enforcement. Like somehow, if you hold the police accountable, they can't do their job. They can't do their job if they fear that they're going to be held accountable. So you got to give them a license to abuse their authority and to brutalize and murder Black people whenever they want to in order for them to do their job properly. Otherwise, if they're under the fear that they'll be prosecuted for murdering Black people, then they can't do their job. It's all about basically restoring the power of police. I see you, New York City. To act as judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to Black lives. And for all y'all who keep asking me to prove that Trump is racist, I don't even have that conversation with y'all anymore. I don't even. I don't even need to have that conversation with y'all because if you're asking the question, you're the deluded person. You're either gaslighting or you're just stupid. If there was ever a time to stop pretending Trump's racism is up for debate, it's now. He called for the execution of the exonerated five, formerly known as the Central Park Five. He promoted birtherism, saying that the first black president wasn't even born in America. He praised white supremacists in Charlottesville and called them very fine people. He was sued by the Department of Justice for refusing to rent to black people. And now he's putting every federal mechanism designed to hold racist police departments accountabilities on the back burner. His message for the last 50 years has been unmistakable. I hate black people. His message with this move is unmistakable, that police should be able to treat black people however they see fit, and that the federal government should have their back, even if it means covering up murder. And this isn't just about Minneapolis and Louisville. It's not just about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. They are closing investigations, closing active investigations into the police departments in Memphis, cops who murdered Tyree Nichols, in Phoenix, in Oklahoma City, in Trenton, New Jersey, in Mount Vernon, in Louisiana, in spite of credible evidence in all of these places that the constitutional rights of black people have been violated. They're closing all of those investigations. Don't tell me Trump ain't racist no more, okay? Please, don't. Just don't do it. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Turn your radio down. There's a delay. All right. All right. Listen, when you call in, you got to turn whatever your listening device down. If you're listening for my voice on the device, it's going to happen after it happens on the phone. So turn your device down and then give us a call back. We won't have any feedback and we can get you right on the air. 413-736-2781. All of this credible evidence that in all of these jurisdictions, the rights of black people are being violated. They are withdrawing from these investigations. And the withdrawal from these investigations sends an ominous signal to police departments everywhere. Do whatever the hell you want to do to black people, and this administration will protect you. It's open season on us, brothers and sisters. It's real. This is serious. This ain't no game. This ain't no Democrat versus Republican nonsense. This is life or death. This is about your children, your grandchildren. This is not reform. This is a retreat from accountability. Good morning, caller.
Yes.
Turn your radio down, sir. Turn your radio down.
I have turned it down. I'm on my cell phone.
All right, go right ahead.
That's low.
Go right ahead.
Mine is down.
Sir, go ahead and with your comments. Go ahead with your comments.
Okay. What I wanted to say, Bishop Swan, is I don't understand why, as you just said earlier, how black people do not believe that Trump is a racist. I don't understand how they can't believe it.
I don't understand it either. It's mind-boggling.
Yes, it is. When they went after Medicaid, the people that do Medicaid, and a lot of people that are on Medicaid that we know are elderly people, that is heartless. That is unconstitutional. That should be a no-brainer that he's racist, and you name and all the rest of those things that he is. And so for all the black people that put him in office or helped put him to go in office, they only hurt themselves, and they hurt their elderly grandparents and fathers and whoever. They hurt them, and it's gonna only get worse as the years go by. Bishop Swan.
Yeah, well, basically, this man does not have a soul. And I don't say that lightly, and that is not hyperbole. That is just that's real. I don't believe he has a soul. When you can snatch health care away from sick people of all races, you just don't, and then give tax cuts to your billionaire friends. You just don't have a soul.
That is true. He does not have a soul, and he doesn't have. He don't even believe. He don't even honor the God of heaven. So that's why I know he's the devil in disguise.
Which is why it makes it even more puzzling, not only for black people to be supporting him, for so-called Christians to be supporting him as well. Thank you for your call, brother. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, Bishop Swan.
Yes.
I'm calling from Mississippi. I hadn't had a chance to talk to you in a long time.
Welcome, Mississippi.
Hey, I'm glad. I'm glad you're bringing it out, man. I attend the Kojic too, so I'm one of your Kojic brothers.
All right.
In the morning, yeah. But Bishop Swan, I wish, because so many of our people in darkness, I wish that we had a national curriculum in the Church of God in Christ about social justice.
We're working on that. We're working on that. We are actually working in conjunction with Dr. Mark Ellis, the superintendent of the Sunday school, for an entire curriculum on social justice. It's coming. Just keep your eyes open for it.
Because there's so many of our preachers, and I'm across the board, and a lot of states that are ignorant what's going on in the United States of America. So I'm really proud of you, brother. I listen to you every chance that I get, but it definitely needs to be exposed. I mean, I don't even know why people can't understand, because Trump ran on. MAGA just mean when he ran, I'm here to put y'all Negroes and y'all Hispanics back in y'all place. Things got out of hand with Obama. That's what make America great means. And he gonna use the police. They want to use the police as a force, an armed force of white supremacy. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And when you get a chance, I hope that you get to look at the video of what happened in Holly Springs when a white gentleman goes to a majority black county saying the N-word to a black bar. He got a good weapon. And hopefully you get a chance to see the video, but it's making national news. I don't think he'll do it no more.
All right. Preach.
I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna listen to you, Bishop Swan. I enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to seeing that, man, because hey, we got some bishops in the Kojic that's working against what you standing for, brother.
Don't I know it? I hear from them often. Thank you for your call, brother. 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781 is the number here if you want to chime in on the conversation. If you're confused about his racism, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I thought it was obvious, but I guess for some of y'all, it ain't. I guess it's like Run DMC said, you're blind. You can't see. You need to wear some glasses like DMC. Yeah. Uh-huh. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. The stuff he's doing, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can see. Okay. And the fact that you can't see it, I don't know. I mean, to me, it just calls into question your discernment as far as I'm concerned. 413-736-2781. What they're doing is not law and order. It's state-sponsored lawlessness. All right. The Negro Black Knights Heritage Club. You got the microphone next. Good morning. Good morning.
Talking to me. Oh, good morning, Bishop. Sorry about that. I thought it was on the phone. My bad.
All right.
And I appreciate you holding this conversation because this is a much needed conversation. They're talking about military upgraded weapons in regards to law enforcement, which is they don't need to have those type of. There's certain things in the Constitution that talks about that there shouldn't be military activity on the soil of America when it comes to policing and engaging with citizens. And I see that there's an overreach with that on that end. And I'm questioning black lawyers. Why is there not lawsuits being filed? Why are there not anything to stop some of these things as being unconstitutional? That's where I'm more or less looking at some of these actions and behaviors. So salute to you for making me more aware about this. I'm looking at some of the policies that I posted down for you from the executive orders as well as the Marshall Project. Very interesting facts. Salute to you. Have a great afternoon. Great morning.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you. 413-736-2781 is the number here. If you want to get in on the Twitter space, you can definitely put your request in. Here's the deal, brothers and sisters. This isn't justice. This is Jim Crow. Jim Crow reborn with a badge and a body cam. And the broader agenda is empowering white supremacy by proxy. This rollback of consent decrees has to be viewed in the broader context of this administration's open hostility towards racial justice. They've pushed to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion. They've pushed to ban Black history from classrooms. They push to restrict and suppress our voting rights. And now they want to dismantle civil rights enforcement in policing. Every action that they have taken, this is why I don't get the Negro Black preachers that were at the White House singing and speaking in tongues, and all of that stuff, but didn't challenge a doggone thing that this administration has done, when everything that they have done has been calculated, has been strategic against Black people. It isn't just political, it's personal. It's about maintaining a system where Black people are disproportionately criminalized, brutalized, and marginalized, while white power is protected at all costs. That's why he sat up in there lying about genocide of white farmers in South Africa. And it's not just Trump and his administration. It extends to the people that support him, to the people that justify voting for him, for the Negro collaborators with white supremacy who make excuses as to why they support him. The same people who scream law and order, but when police kill an unarmed Black person, they get silent. They get silent when police abuse their authority against Black people. These are the same people who cheered the January 6th insurrectionists, but then demonized peaceful Black Lives Matter protesters. I was on the Piers Morgan show, and I had to check Piers Morgan because he tried to categorize the Black Lives Matter protests as riots. They are the same ones who raise money for white officers caught on tape beating and brutalizing black people. But then they label civil rights leaders as race hustlers. These are the same folk who gave $780,000 to a racist white woman for calling an autistic 5-year-old black child a nigger. Okay? Their applause is their affirmation. Their support is racism in plain sight. And we got to resist them, and we got to resist your cousin and them that support them. I'm telling y'all, we live in dangerous times, and we can't afford to be silent. The black church, civil rights organizations, community leaders, every justice-loving person needs to raise their voice louder than ever before. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Bishop. You're hitting the nail right on the head this morning, Bishop, and I appreciate you. You know, they have a plan to roll back all the rights that we've acquired and earned. But you're doing the right thing, Bishop, by bringing light to it. And it's always a season to get in good trouble, as the late John Lewis said. And I thank you for getting in good trouble this morning.
All right.
And I listen to you. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you. 413-736-2781. 9 minutes left in the program. Listen, this Sunday is the 5th anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. And in commemoration of that, and also as a continuation of our boycott on Target, we are going to meet for a vigil. And we're going to meet at the site of a new Target that they are building at the former Eastfield Mall. It's a call to vigilance, prayer, and justice. We're going to meet at 2:00 p.m. on Sunday, 1655 Boston Road. Those of you who are in the 413, 1655 Boston Road at the entrance to the former Eastfield Mall. We are going to pray for 9 minutes and 46 seconds, representing the amount of time that Derek Chauvin had his knee on the neck of George Floyd. And we're going to be praying for 4 things: justice for the oppressed, corporate integrity and accountability, Black economic empowerment, and the protection of Black history and DEI initiatives. And then we're going to be praying for us to have boldness, both for the church and the community in this hour. So 2:00 p.m. at the former Eastfield Mall at the construction site of the new Target. We are going to meet on the anniversary, 5th anniversary of the murder of George Floyd, for a call to vigilance, prayer, and justice. And I hope to see you there. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Bishop, you have a great topic. I mean, I praise you for bringing this topic up. But I've been telling people for years when Trump came out with his slogan, "Let's make America great again." And I was talking to this white guy, and he had the hat on. And he was saying, well, Trump want to make America great again. I said, well, I answered one question. When has America been great for Black people?
Not never.
Great for Black people. That's what I want to know. Thank you.
All right. So listen, as I've been doing lately, I've always given you some action steps as we get ready to close out. I see Ms. Angela Thorpe up in my studio. So she must be filling in for mid-morning jazz and great Black music that's coming up. So let me give you I'll take one more phone call, and then I got to give you my call to action. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Bishop, remember I told you, last month or month before, watch when he's ever speaking. He's throwing the Black Power sign up. That's all.
All right. I don't know. Okay. You got me on that one. I don't know about Trump throwing up the Black Power sign, because he's doing anything but trying to empower black people. So here's what I think our call to action is. First, we got to frame the moment. We got to be clear that what happened this week is not policy, it's political weakness. That the Trump DOJ is not reforming, it's rescinding justice. These consent decrees were not put in place after these brutal killings for no reason. They weren't symbolic, but they mandated oversight, training, and a restructuring of broken police departments. So let's frame it in the right context. It is not overreach, it is not anti-police. Let's educate our people and not let them sell these weak talking points. Number two, we got to tell people why these consent decrees mattered. Okay. In Minneapolis, the DOJ found systemic racism, excessive force, illegal searches, discriminatory policing. In Louisville, they found patterns of abuse, unconstitutional stops, searches, and seizures, and all of that. These consent decrees are not anti-police, they're pro-accountability. And the reforms have saved lives, built community trust, and forced transparency. Okay. So we got to be clear about what they did. We have to expose the gaslighting. All right. This ain't about no local control. Tell people about the code words, because local control is basically code for letting corrupt police systems continue to exist. All right. We got to expose the gaslightings. Then we got to call out the racism. We can't afford to be scared to call racist racist. Okay, because they're gonna tell you, oh, that word doesn't mean anything anymore. Y'all call everything racist. Da, 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 da. That's because they don't want you to talk about it. And then you even got some handkerchief head Uncle Tom Negroes like Morgan Freeman and others telling you that racism will go away if you stop talking about it. No, we can't afford to stop talking about it. We got to call it out. This is part of an anti-black agenda. Think of everything that was done: eliminating DEI, erasing black history, attacking voting rights, now protecting killer cops. All right. This is racist, period. All right. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's call it out for what it actually is. So here's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to vote like your lives depend on it, because it does. Right? We can't afford to keep these people in power. So you need to vote. Forget all of that. I ain't got nothing to vote for, and the Democrats is just as bad, and yada, 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 yada. You need to vote. All right? That's what you need to do. Then you need to contact your local leaders. You need to demand that the mayor, that the city council, that the police chief commit to local reforms. They may come after the consent decree here in Springfield, and we've got to make sure that they are committed to these reforms, even without federal oversight. Then we got to organize locally. We got to join or support grassroots organizations that push for police accountability. Become part of the NAACP. Become part of the Pioneer Valley Project. We've got to host the town halls, the legal clinics, the youth educational events. We got to let our people know. Then we got to stay in the streets and in our pulpits. All right? And let the message be heard. Then we got to use our platforms as a microphone so that we can push the message of what we need to do. You are the last caller. Good morning.
Yes, Bishop Swan, I'm enjoying you, bro. I'm going to try to get your hat in for recommended for the banquet speaker in Mississippi. Hopefully we can get you here.
All right.
I think a lot of our people getting things mixed up with the first black don't mean that you get qualified to speak on social issues.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, brother. That's my home state of my people. My people are from Yazoo County, Mississippi. So I'd love to come back home. I got to get out your way. Angela is up next with Mid-Morning Jazz and great black music. So keep it locked right here. I'll be back with you on Monday morning on the spoken word. So check us out then at 9 o'clock a.m. If you're looking for a place to worship, check us out at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ, 35 Alden Street, Bishop Talbert Swan Way, the Brick Church right there at 6 Corners. Prayer, praise, and preaching. We're building better today, tomorrow's by changing lives. Today on Tuesday at 6 p.m., the general membership meeting of the NAACP will take place at the Spring of Hope Church. A lot of things going on. Remember, on Sunday at 2 p.m., 1655 Boston Road, entrance to the old Eastfield Mall, we're doing a prayer vigil in commemoration of the 5th anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. I'm out your way. Until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you. So do I. Peace and blessings. I'll see y'all later, fam.
This one is for all the brothers that passed, but more particularly one because it affected me drastically. I remember my sister gave me the call and I was in awe. Matter of fact, it felt the farthest from reality. She seen somebody post RIP with his name and I said I doubt it's the same friend I had since 7th grade. She said I'm gonna call her sister and double check.
I want to know how you did that. Because whenever I take a call, they can hear me. So you put it through a speaker on your line? Is that how you get it?
No, not